So imagine this situation. Imagine that it's time for you to move on in your career. You have received a new job offer and you deliver these news to your boss. At that moment, your boss has a mini crisis because the idea of them operating without you is just unfathomable to your boss. How do we get ourselves to a situation, to a position where we are seen as such a valuable contributor to our organization that people around us feel like the world is going to be completely different when we leave? By doing two things. Number one is about doing amazing work, actually making a difference, creating amazing results, right? And for the people in my community, that's usually not a problem. I know that you are loyal, hardworking, smart, committed, problem solvers, right? So doing the amazing work, step number one. The second part is communicating these results and their impact, making sure that people know of this. This is something that the people in my community are usually less good at, don't have so much practice with, or feel comfortable doing. We have been taught, or maybe just hope, that our work is going to speak for itself. But unfortunately, these days, that is usually not enough. So people come to me and they say, so what do I do, Anna? I know that I need to probably promote myself, but I feel icky. It doesn't feel authentic. I don't want to come across as bragging, and I don't think it would be good for my career. And that is 100% true. So today I want to present you one framework that you can use that is going to do wonders for you, and also 3 different ways that you can use this exact framework. Okay. So first of all, I hope that you have formal one-on-ones with your boss, preferably weekly, hopefully bi-weekly. If not, I'm going to give you some other options. But in these situations, what I know that I used to do and what I see my clients do all the time is we have this one-on-one with our boss and we come in with a long list of things that we need to discuss and action items and boom, 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 just thinking about the future. But this is a golden opportunity for us to actually also bring our boss on board and remind them of all the amazing things that we've done up until now. And when I say all of them, it's not about the long list, but just making sure to spend a little bit of time. And this is where I'm going to present the framework to share what I call, when working with my clients on this, some good news. If you have interviewed in recent times, you may be familiar with the STAR framework. The STAR framework goes through 4 steps: situation, task, action, and results. And that's the exact same framework that I want you to bring in when it comes to sharing good news with your boss. Okay? An example would be, hey, FYI, situation. Last week, one of our most important clients, you know, the client who spends this much money, who makes this much impact, who has been with us for this long, right? And then when it comes to the task, I like to also think of it as like bringing in some conflict. They reached out to us and said that they were unhappy. They were threatening to leave. They wanted a decrease in price. Action. So then I did this. I talked to the team. I talked to blah, blah, blah. I took them out for dinner, blah, blah, blah. This is what you actually did. Result. And now they are super happy. Not are they just staying, but they have actually agreed to sign off for a few more years. We were actually able to do an upsell, so they're going to be able to spend even more money. Okay? And the framework. What I did there is that I took some time with my boss to remind them of something amazing that had happened, but I didn't put myself in the forefront. I didn't say, look at how amazing I am, but I said, hey, there was this situation that arose and this is how I handled it. And I just want you to know that we came out on the good side of this. This is going to land in your boss as some good news, right? They're happy to know this. They are taking in that something good came out of it, but also you are without that being maybe the main intention from where they're seeing it, is that you are going to position yourself as a person who handled this situation, but you didn't just start at the end and said, hey, there was a situation, but I handled it. By actually giving them the details of it, you're also building trust and you're building trust in your abilities and capabilities to handle situations in the future. Okay? Formal one-on-ones is the best, most impactful way to do this. But sometimes we don't have that, or we don't have access, or we're just so jammed for time that that's not an opportunity or a possibility. So the second area that you can actually try this is before having a meeting about something else, right? Maybe you and your boss are going to have a meeting about something completely different. And then you can say, hey, before we jump in, super quickly, I just want to let you know. And then you do a compressed version of that. FYI, just so you know, same thing here. This thing happened with the client. It was very stressful, but this is what we did. And just so you know, everything is fine, right? You can do this in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, right? But same thing here. Before we jump into the thing, I just want you to know. And once again, it's not coming from a place of you bragging or kind of like upping yourself. Maybe someone on your team did something. So you're saying, I just want you to know that Tim did an amazing job at this. And then you're also positioning yourself as an amazing leader, but really coming from that place of sharing some good news. You're informing your boss, but you're also letting them know that everything is fine and dandy now. That's another one. Sometimes we don't have this type of access, or it just doesn't jive well, or the nature of your boss is that you don't think that this would work well. So the third way that we can do this is by sending an email. Okay. I have my clients sometimes do this on a Friday afternoon. Send an email to your boss with some good news. They're probably tired, exhausted. They might have had a shitty week. Can you imagine how amazing it's going to feel for them to actually get this email from you? Where, once again, back to the framework. Hey, boss. I mean, you're very welcome to use their name, right? Just so you know, earlier this week, this thing happened, or maybe even if they're informed. So if your brain is like, but my boss was part of it, so they know, right? That's okay. You can still say, hey, boss, as you know, this thing happened. This is what we did. And I just want you to know that I just heard back from the client, or I just met up with a client, and everything is fine and dandy. Thanks for your support. Just wanted to share this, and the week on a high note, not expecting a response or anything from you, wishing you a lovely weekend. That is also sharing some good news that is going to position you in their minds. Okay. This was a client example. This can also have to do with teams, processes, tasks, projects. This was just one example of how we did it. If you have any questions, if you have a situation, you're very welcome to reach out to me, and I'm happy to give some feedback on your situation. But if you can imagine, if you are not doing this at all today, right? If you do this once, this is going to be beneficial for you. If you start doing this once a month, once a week, every day, right? That is going to have an exponential effect, not just on how you are seen in your organization towards your boss. You can also do this towards other people, but this is going to be massively confidence building for you, because what you are doing is you are also constantly forcing yourself to say, okay, all this doing that I'm doing all day long, what are the results I'm creating, and what is the impact that is having? This is how we build confidence. This is how we feel good and secure about the work that we do, our capabilities and abilities, right? So many added benefits here. So, my friends, this is how we can communicate our results and their impact. One simple framework that you get to practice also for the next time that you apply for jobs, so that you're practicing this framework for interviewing. It's so powerful, but also that you can do it in different ways that you can tailor to your unique situation. I hope this was helpful. If you try it out, please let me know how it goes. I wish you good luck.